This demo provides a quick look at HouseBot software remotes. Software remotes are simply Windows applications that run on another computer and allow you to control and monitor your home through the HouseBot server. What you see here is a software remote running on a wireless computer. This particular computer is running Windows Vista, but software remotes can run on about any of the Windows platforms, including Windows CE and Pocket PC devices. This particular software remote is running a theme that I've created to control the media room in my house. This is just an example of some of the things you can do with the software remote, but the actual look and the function of the software remote is completely left up to you to design and configure. Software remotes connect to the HouseBot server over the network. They don't require much bandwidth, so about any network connection will work. This means you can connect using a Wi-Fi network, a hardwired network, or even across the internet to any remote location. So what can you do with the software remote? Pretty much anything that's supported by the HouseBot server can be controlled and monitored by the software remotes. There's no limit to the number of software remotes that can connect to the server. They can all be configured independently and display real-time data across all remotes. Software remotes are configured at the HouseBot server. I'm going to give a quick overview of the software remote configuration on my server. From this screen you can see that I have two different software remotes connected to the server and some general information about the remotes that are connected. The configuration for the remotes is very simple. Just give it a name, a default theme to use, an optional password, and make sure it's enabled. So that's all there is to configuring a software remote. But the bulk of the configuration is really in the theme. Themes hold the user interface design and all the guts and the function on the remote. Themes are created and configured using the what you see is what you get drag and drop user interface on the server. Here's the theme configuration for the themes selected on the wireless software remote we saw earlier. Themes consist of one or more panels or windows. Clicking on these tabs at the top switches to the various panels. In the software remote, these tabs are not displayed because you switch to other panels using a panel change button. Each panel provides a background to hold the various controls that will either control something on the server or display its status. There are some controls that actually do both. If I click on this button that is set up to control the lighting level, it will display the configuration for that button in the control property window. There are a slew of options to customize the look and behavior of the controls. The display of most controls is completely customizable. For example, you can easily change the button image to one contained in an existing skin included with HouseBot, or even design your own button look with about any graphics program. You can see that this particular button is configured to execute a task from the server that will set the medium room lights to high. These buttons at the bottom of the display are panel change buttons that when pressed will bring up another panel. So when I click on the DVD button, it will display the DVD panel. When a panel is activated, it can perform actions on the servers too. This DVD panel will execute a task named Ready DVD that will perform several steps to get the system ready to play the DVD. For example, it'll set the lighting level for seating, turn on the projector and select the proper video source, set the proper audio source, and any other tasks that need to get set up. Here's a property label control that will display the value of any device property. This control is configured to display the current volume level. In this example, pressing the arrow buttons will change the volume up or down by 1. This causes commands to be sent over RS-232 to control the audio processor. These buttons control the DVD by simply executing tasks on the server to control the DVD using an IR emitter attached to the DVD player. If a phone call is received while a movie is playing, this checkbox button sets the state of a mode that will pause the movie and display the caller ID information in another pop-up panel. There's a bit of configuration required at the server for this to happen, but it's a good example of the flexibility of the system. I'm going to go through an example of creating a new panel and adding a button to jump to it. I'm going to duplicate the existing panel to save some work, so I navigate to the panel I want to duplicate and hit the Duplicate Panel button. I can actually duplicate the panel into other themes, but in this case it'll be in the same theme. I'll just delete some of the existing controls that I don't need. Change the title. Change the title of the panel. And next I'll add a new control to display a property of the system time device on HouseBot. Here's a quick look at the types of controls that can be added to a theme. There are many different types of buttons that perform different actions. The most common button types control properties and tasks. Static labels just display unchanging text. Property labels dynamically display the current value of any device property. That's what we're going to use here to display the time. Image controls will display a graphic. It can be unchanging or it can be controlled by device property and dynamically change the image. Indicators are simple controls that will display a status of a device property. Gauges, sliders, and dials will all display and control the value of a device property. So we're going to add the property label and check the skin style we're going to use. And we select the device property that we're going to show in the property label. So now we move the control to where we want it. We change the font size. We can change the position and size of it. So next we pop back to the panel where we want to display this new panel from. And we're going to add a new panel change button. Change the style. Select the actual button. Give it a label. And we're going to choose the panel that we want it to bring up, which is the one we just created. And then you just move it to where you want it, drag it and drop it. You can even align it with other controls. And that's it. After I save the theme, any software remotes that use the theme will automatically download it next time it's started. Next, I just want to give a quick demo of running two remotes simultaneously. I have this remote running on a wireless PC. Now I'm going to bring up a software remote running on my desktop. This desktop remote uses the exact same theme as the wireless one here, but it could be any theme. I'll navigate to the DVD panel so we can play with the volume controls. You can see as soon as I change the volume on one remote, it's immediately reflected on the other remote. This is how quickly changes are sent from the remote to the server to control equipment, and how quickly the server reflects the update to all the other remotes. Well, this demo has only covered a fraction of the functionality available using HouseBot software remotes. But if you're interested in exploring the software yourself, you can download a free, non-restricted 30-day trial from the HouseBot website at www.housebot.com.